All righty, traders. Oh, hold on a second. All right. Can you guys? Morning. Hello. Shoot. Hold on. I'm still here. Hold on. I forget I keep doing these webinars, and you know, I forgot I keep turning the video on in the afternoons or late morning for me. And I look around and I'm like, oh crap, my desk is a mess. I've got stuff all over the place. You guys don't need to see all that stuff. Anyway, hope you guys are doing all right. Hope everybody's having a good session thus far. We were just talking about in the chat room, just kind of the range boundness of the markets. You know, I bought and sold the US dollar Norwegian krona a couple of times this morning. Just keep scalping it, you know, long and out and long and out. And I did it a few times over the last couple hours. We are just really in a consolidation type of mode right now. Equities came off of their lows, you know, got a little bit of a bounce. You see the NASDAQ, you know, bounce back after nearing that 50% retracement here. We bounced back, probably previous resistance should act as current support. I think Jane was saying in the chat room that Amazon announced some buybacks, so that helped the NASDAQ bounce. You can see the S&P also came down to that 4110 level support and bounced. I mean, this is really all proof, really. I mean, how important the S&P support is right now. And you can see how we just, you know, bounced right off it. I mean, I know you guys know this, you know, but it's good to see this price action around here, because what it does is it reinforces us how important the support is, right? Now, I just posted, Jason said, hey, Blake, I saw your tweet on the dollar Canadian. I think we see 123, 124 dollar Canadian before 120. You really think this could just crash below 120 with no bounce? It's down over 500 pips since the Bank of Canada. Actually, Jason, I'm going to be posting this on, it's getting transferred over to Trader Summit, but why don't you read my post here, because I just put it on our blog. Okay. And I'll read it aloud for you so you can, you know, kind of understand exactly how I feel about it, because I really don't think it's going below 120. However, I want to be there in case it does. We gotta, you know, as I mentioned in the post, we have to be really respectful how heavy it's trading. If for some reason stocks bounce here, and I have to say, we held support, okay? No, I know you weren't challenging me. You said, I want to get your perspective. You weren't challenging me. I totally get that. What I'm trying to point out is that I actually feel the same way. And I'm hoping it happens too. I think we just have to have awareness. I'm short the Canadian yen. Last thing I want right now is for the dollar Canadian to break. Sorry. Sorry about that. You know, it's like I don't yawn and then I start speaking, then I have to yawn. My brain needs oxygen then at that point. What I was going to say is I personally don't want it to drop below 120, because that would probably stop me out of my Canadian yen short. But if it does drop below 120, I want to be there to buy it, because I don't think that this move down is sustainable. And as I pointed out, also keep in mind several hundred pips higher. Keep in mind several hundred pips higher in the pair, and the Bank of Canada was already concerned with the strength of the Canadian dollar. So how do they feel now? So I'm reiterating what you're saying. I agree that there's some verbal intervention is probably coming our way if we get closer to 120. But like I said, the pair is trading really heavy. and we have to be respectful of it. So if it drops below 120, gets back above 2050, like it does one of these. I'll take a 4-hour chart, it's fine. We do one of these, boop, boop. I'll be looking to go long, for sure. For sure. We just can't rule that out. Because I agree with you that longer term, what's going to happen is we're going to do this, and then eventually we'll break down. That's what I think. But just because I think it doesn't mean it's going to happen that way either. I'm telling you guys, I was tired. I've been tired today because last night, about an hour after my bedtime, I was on a call. And we were talking with, Pepperstone, our partners, but they're in Australia, So when you try to get people in Australia and Europe and North America, South America all together at the same time, there's give and take with everybody trying to find a good time to meet. Like for them, it's 7 a.m. For me, it's 9 o'clock at night. It's like, it's brutal, but we made it work. But if I'm yawning a lot, you understand why. So anyway, that's regarding the Canadian. And I hope it bounces from here. I really do. I just don't know if it's going to. One of the other pairs that's trading really heavy is the US dollar Mexican peso. I'm surprised as how heavy this pair is trading and has been trading today. The Aussie's still holding above 78.10. And look, if we break below this level, I think this will trigger me to, and I'm going to put an alarm on it because I think it's that important. I think if the Aussie starts to break down, that would signal to me that we need to sell other commodity currencies, like buy the US dollar Norwegian krona, buy the US dollar Mexican peso, buy the dollar Canadian if you're not long already, or short Canadian currency, sell the Kiwi. So I'm going to be watching the Aussie because the Aussie's been the underperformer. So if it starts nosediving first, then maybe that'll trigger some other moves elsewhere. Also want to see equities push lower. But as I told everybody in the chat room when we were down here, at 41, like 23 or something, I'm like, look, we're at really key support here. So it's really hard to be just pushing into dollars long, knowing we're at support. If we broke through support and got a close below through support, that's a different story. Then we can start talking, hey, let's be long the dollar against a lot of different currencies. Euro's holding up well. The sterling's actually bid. I think a lot of these. Euro and pound. One of the reasons why they're stronger right now is I think these crosses are strong, and they tend to be strong during periods of risk aversion. So if you have like here's the pound Aussie, for example, we're nudging up against the 618. This is really key resistance here. Right? Like that's key resistance. It's a 618 retracement. We've been up here a bunch of times. A break above that, pound Aussie looks bullish. Pound New Zealand, same type of deal, right? Up against resistance. And the euro and the Aussie, or the euro, excuse me, against some of these other crosses might start looking a little bit better too if we get some risk aversion. The euro or the sterling may have limited downside, and we might see more downside in the Aussie and the Kiwi and Canadian and currencies like that. So anyway, what else? Yen pairs, I still think you got to keep them on the radar. These false breakouts, I think, will all weigh on them. I'm hoping the Canadian yen rolls over here, like back below 89 would be great. This is 89 and change, but I think that'd be a nice breakdown. And other than that, just kind of waiting for the market to do something. Yesterday, remember, the market moved pretty late in the day yesterday, so we could get that today as well. It's been interesting. We haven't seen a lot of movement in Europe, and then we're seeing movements late in the day, North American days. So let's see if that continues today. Mira asked about the IWM. Oh shoot, we broke through the triangle. Oh, you're challenging it. You know what? I don't trade the Russell, but what do you think I would do right now? And this is just, what do you think I'd do right now? Amir, I'm going to ask you this question. What do you think? Short. Yeah, like right now. If it were me, and I'm not telling you that's what you should do, but here's the reason why I would. Because if we're breaking down through this triangle, okay, let's narrow it in a little bit. Your risk, let's talk about risk first. Your risk is probably somewhere up here, because you don't want it back in the triangle. If it gets back in the triangle, then it's a full false breakdown and it's going to squeeze to new highs. So you don't want to be short more than that. So your risk is, what is it? $4? Let's just say roughly $3.50, right? What's your reward? Well, going back to this triangle, minimum, I'd be thinking that. So let's just talk minimum here. So minimum, you're looking at a move back to 206. So you're risking $3.50 to make, what was that, 10 roughly? So you're risking 3 to make 10, risk 1 to make 3. I mean, that's a good risk reward any which way you slice it, right? Doesn't mean you'll be right, but I'm willing to take a trade like that most times. Again, IWM is not my wheelhouse, but you can see where my thought process is. Would I've shorted it earlier today down here? Probably not, because you want to, if you want to be confident that it's going to retest and hold, then that means that this resistance is very, very important right now. We could gap fill, but this whole resistance zone is pretty important. So I think the risk reward favors shorts right now. Doesn't mean you're going to be right. Just means that, that's I think it favors the shorts. All right, guys and gals. I hope you guys have a great. Wait. I'm sorry. One last thing. I'm going to ask you guys for a favor. If you guys watch this on YouTube, or if you ever watch any of our videos on YouTube, like if you're catching up, or because you missed this and you're watching it like later today, if you ever see anything on YouTube and you're watching us and you like it, please give us a thumbs up. That I totally appreciate. Also, I'm going to be posting a lot of articles on Trader Summit, not just my own writing here, but others as well. So if you read the stuff, there's a little link here. Let me show you. Just like, let's say you find an article like this one right here from Mark Chandler. Go down here at the bottom, and if you read it and you're like, oh, I like it, just click the plus button down here. That would really help too. Those little things, because they help the contributors. The contributors look at two things. They're going to look at how many people like their articles, and then also how many views they've had right that day. So just any kind of help. I know you guys are awesome for always supporting us, and I appreciate it. And as I've explained to you guys, I appreciate you guys, because without you, we don't have a company. We're just trying to also build other things for you guys to really enjoy. There's I should stop and say this for a second. There's a cartoon. I just watched it for the very cartoon animated film that I watched for the first time in like 10 years. Do you know what it's called? I'll tell you. It's called Robots. Have you guys ever seen it? Robots. It had like a bunch of really, really great actors, but one of them was Robin Williams, the great late great Robin Williams was one of the characters, right? And it's this animated film, and it was released in 2005. I know that because I looked it up this weekend. But it's one of my favorite animated films. My kids, when they were younger, they loved the film. But there's a saying that they have in the film that has always stuck with me. Do you know what that saying is? See a need, fill a need. Because it was talking about these robots and how they were, you know, they were trying to create this, you know, world and create these products, and you see a need and you fill a need. And that was like the big entrepreneur, right? Mr. I forget what they call the robot now. Anyway, when we created Forex, Trader Summit, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this and I felt so passionate about it is because as a trader for so many years, you know, over the last 20 years, for me to research in the morning, I go everywhere. I'm like at this site, that site, this person's blog, read this bank research that gets emailed to me. I'm all over the place. If we have one like centralized place where you can go, ooh, I'm going to go here. I'm going to read this article, this article, this article, and I'm pretty good for the morning or, you know, the afternoon. That's why we want to do it. That's why I want to do it. So hopefully you guys really enjoy Trader Summit. We have so many good contributors, and we've built up so many relationships over the years. I mean, it's taken us a long time, you know, obviously. So I appreciate the support. So you guys kind of understand the reasoning behind Trader Summit as well. All right. Rick said, hey, really quick, is the Trader Summit link on the dashboard? I have linked, just wondering if on the ForexAnalytix dashboard somewhere, I can't find it. It isn't, but that's a good recommendation. Big Walled, yes, Simon. Simon said it was Big Walled. Big Walled. Big Walled is see a need, fill a need. It's a great movie. If you've never watched it, it's awesome. Robin Williams too. I mean, it was like one of the great ones we lost. Anyway, you guys have a good one. Have a great day. Thanks for your continued support. I'll talk to you guys later.